When you're grieving, what you do to cope with the loss may not make sense to other people. So you might be doing things like staying home all the time, never responding to invitations to go out. You might be keeping your husband or your wife's clothes, or you might be never opening the cupboard where their clothes were. You might not want to touch anything. For example, the bathroom may be left exactly as it was, where all the loved ones' belongings are still there. You might be wearing your wedding ring. You might have not sold the car. You might be dating again. And it might be soon after your loved ones died. You might be behaving weird. And people might not understand why you're doing the things you do. And that's okay. Because you don't have to explain what you're doing to anybody. And what you do is your decision. And it's your prerogative to act as you feel you need to. Because we can hold such attachment to a loved one. Our sense of certainty has gone. It's been shattered. And certainty is one of the highest values. It's one of the 6 highest values that people can have. And that level of certainty, which disappears after a loved one passes away, will make us look for that certainty in other places. And if that involves hanging on to different bits and pieces of your loved one's life, in whatever way you do, then that is up to you. And you don't need to explain anything to anyone, ever. And if people want to ask you about what you're doing, or if they want to know the reason, you're not under any pressure to explain it. And it all comes back to the intention behind them asking. But even people that really care for you might not come across with their good intentions. And it might just seem like criticism or judgment. And you might be thinking about the things that they've said to you over and over in your mind, and it might become like an obsession. And a really amazing trick to just stop dwelling on all these things is by remembering and practicing the phrase, "It is what it is." Because by saying that, you're just affirming that things are the way they are. And you can even say it to yourself. It is what it is. And it just stops any kind of mental investigation into anything. And remember the feeling behind the words. Because half the time you might not know what it is you want to do from moment to moment, let alone explain it to anyone else. And explaining it to their satisfaction. And if the person truly cares for you, you don't have to worry about what the reaction will be. Because grieving is such an emotional journey. It's a process of trying to understand and eventually accept the harsh reality of a loved one passing away. And perhaps you promise to be together forever. And we all know that you can't be together forever. But it's not something that you can easily just accept from one day to the next, because there's going to be triggers and memories and thoughts and feelings and experiences and situations that will come up daily, that will cause you to feel a whole nother raft of emotions. And whatever your past experience has been, this will play a part in your experience of grief. But explaining yourself to people shouldn't really be part of your experience, when half the time you won't be able to even explain things to yourself.